So we have been wanting to bring to you a story that we uncovered recently, something that put Lebanon County on the map well over 100 years ago. A story that made national news, the first of its kind, a story about a group of men who conspired to commit murder, a group known as the Blue Eye Six. Why are they called the Blue Eye Six? Well, ironically, each of these men are not related. All six of them had blue eyes, and that is completely ironic. They almost had the same mustaches. They are not so bright about getting away with murder. So here's basically what happened, and this is the saddest story ever. So there was a man that was homeless here in Lebanon. His name was Joseph Weber. Joseph Weber didn't have a job. He would not support himself. I don't know why. So he relied on others. So like once people had trust in him, once he had trust in them, they would become friends and they would help each other out. And then it seemed like the whole town would help each other out with no matter how much money one had or not. They would try their hardest to support each other in town, which I kind of wish it was like that today, but I get it, it's not. This is where the story gets really, really sad. So Joseph one day went into a hotel where there was a bar, and he was talking to people and, asking for money and stuff. So the Blue Eyes Six got together on a drunken night. And then, of course, this is where another thing they had in common. Not too much of, how do I put this? I put this as not to, they didn't have the smarts of what they were doing, put it that way. It's called, if you want to try to get away with murder, keep your mouth shut. And here's how you're going to learn on how to, not how to get away with murder, because hopefully nobody will, but this is if you want to get away with something lightly, this is where you need to learn on how to keep your mouth shut. So Blue Eye Six one night got together, they got drunk, and they were talking about pulling an insurance policy off of Joseph Weber, where they would put so much money, where one would go put an insurance policy on him, another would go in, put a different amount of money of insurance policy on him, and so on and so on and so on. What they thought was, oh, this guy is so old, he has like 6 months to live to a year, so when he dies, we're gonna get this money back on this insurance policy and split it. Well, what happened was, these guys were not so bright. That's another thing that they had in common, was that they weren't so bright. So what happened was, 2 weeks before the murder, the Blue Eye Six were getting together about how should we do this. And they said, let's take Joseph Weber on a fishing trip. And, that way then we can kill him sooner and get money for insurance. They said, okay, yeah, sounds good. We'll take this guy on a fishing trip. So then what happened was, people, of course, hear things. They see things, okay? And you don't realize that they're paying attention to you, but there are ears around. So, of course, what happened was, these guys one night decided they were going to go to a creek on a bridge. They were crossing a bridge. They were getting supplies from other people's houses and stuff. And people knew what night and what day they were going on their fishing trip. And, of course, what happened was, and amazingly, and thank God for this one, there was another eyewitness at the right place and at the right time, and also kind of at the wrong time, because they're lucky that the Blue Eye Six didn't see him either. So what happened was, Joseph Weber felt dizzy along this bridge, and he fell into the water and he drowned. At least that's what they assumed. However, Maya McGuire's, their trial was going on. They realized what could have also have happened. So then they realized, oh, this guy did not drown accidentally. This Blue Eye Six drowned him. And that's exactly what happened, because the week before they said, okay, he's living longer than what we thought. He's a lot healthier and a lot stronger than what we thought. Who's going to kill him? Nobody wanted to kill him. How ironically this gets, though. The leader of it was named Brandt. Brandt, however, was a Civil War soldier who got wounded, lost his arm. Now, you'd think that he had the decency with all the war going on and stuff, that he would spare an innocent, homeless man. No. He said, hey, guys, I I know these two fellas in Philadelphia very well. They are my very good friends. Let me call them up, see if they'll help us kill him. So that's exactly what happened. Brand called them, told these guys what was happening. They said, we are not going to do it unless you give us the money, and if you're sure that you're going to give us the money. Brand said yes. And he let out of how much amount each guy was going to get. Once they found out how much each guy was going to get, they said, okay, how much are we going to get? Once they found out how much they were going to get, of course their answer was, we're in. So these guys came up from Philly, and they drowned Raber. And then, of course, the next day, the witness at the creek went to the police, told them what he saw, and then, of course, these people that were hearing about the fishing trip went to the police and admitted what they heard. So the police got involved. They got the Blue I-6. They took the Blue I-6 to trial. So what happens? They all got hung. The town, how ironically, was paying 25 cents to see them hung. The deputy said to the sheriff, why are people paying when they should see this for free? And really ironically, they actually let a 12-year-old little boy in the jail to see them get hung. I couldn't believe a 12-year-old boy. And this also happened, believe it or not, on December 7th, which is the day of Pearl Harbor. How weird is that? So therefore, so Blue I-6, it was a mess. Like, the trial was a mess, but yes, they eventually got hung, except for one. One got away for free because his name was Zekman. Zekman got away because he confessed that the whole story and stuff, and because he confessed before the Blue I-6, before the rest of Blue I-6 came, that's why they let him go free up until a few years. Then he did go, however, in jail and had seizures and then died. Also, too, then, like I said, the Blue I-6 got their payback. However, Sally Joseph Raber did die in a matter where he should not have died. We would like to show you guys and tell you guys where they are buried at. However, we're not going to tell you that because we did find out that some of these graveyards and where the murder happened at is under high security. And also respects to the family too, because we found out one is actually buried at, it's actually Strickler, who's one of the Blue I-6, who is buried in his own family plot. So therefore, we will give you more information if we want to go further with this, but that is basically the whole story of the Blue I-6. And also, guys, do not forget, we are selling our Pretzels in History shirts. So please go to pretzelsandhistory.com, and there you can either donate or buy our shirts, so that way we can turn Layton's apartment into a newsroom.